So I've been taking some time off for my health once again. Sometimes you just know when social media is just needs to be cut out for a while. So my last video, I had been approved to use medical marijuana for my chronic pain from endometriosis. And some of you guys know that train with me know that I have some kind of stomach condition where I feel nausea pretty often. I never know when I'm going to be able to eat a full meal because I might get full or really gassy, just really uncomfortable, or I get nauseous. And then I get nauseous to the point where I can't keep my food down. And this can be multiple times a week, and also multiple times during the day. So I had asked about medical cannabis just to see, at least in, not for the fact that it gets me high, which of course that is a byproduct of THC. CBD also has anti-inflammation properties in it. So at least from a medical standpoint, I could get some relief with that. I have tried CBD in the past, but I didn't really understand it all that well. I knew that it was good to take it, but I just wasn't as smart because I wanted that instant gratification, and because I didn't get the instant gratification, I didn't think it worked. And then with THC, it really helped with my nausea yesterday. I was able to eat a full day's worth of food and not want to keel over and die. So at least from that aspect, it was fantastic. Like, I really miss eating something as simple as an apple, even if it is healthy food. And beforehand, I was heavily relying on sugar because since I was so hungry, my body was like craving an energy source. So when our body doesn't have enough nutrition and enough protein in our systems, we tend to crave sugar. We crave junk food. Like, we crave the salt and we crave the sugar. So I was essentially living off of, little bonbons and Halloween candy for a while because that's all I could really keep down. Which of course would spiral into having, bouts of tiredness later on in the afternoon, not having enough fuel to do my workouts. So it just kept snowballing. So I finally was like, okay, I need to try something else. So I had meagerly asked, I don't know if this is going to work, but, would I qualify for medical marijuana? And I have all the medical documents to back me up for the last 20 years. Because I've had endometriosis since I was, in my teens. But no one would ever listen to me. No one would ever, it was never validated that endometriosis can really fuck your life up. So they went ahead and approved me, and I had no idea that I had even been approved. And they're just like, okay, well, we'll get your certification. And I'm like, wait, what? So the last video was me basically like having an emotional dump on feeling that validation of I did something for myself and it worked. So the main point of the video on the last one is don't let anybody tell you how your body should be feeling. You know your body better than anybody else, and you don't have to have some doctor tell you that your body's not feeling a certain way. You know when something is wrong, because you just don't feel right. And you have to keep asking for yourself and advocating for that. And so last week was the first week that I have felt validated and said, yes, you have been suffering. Let's try something else. And I didn't want to be on opiates either because, addiction runs in my family. I didn't want to have access to that. I didn't want my daughter seeing me like that. Some would argue that pot is no better, but I have my personal reasons for going the cannabis way. And I know that announcing on my social media saying that I use medical marijuana to help treat my chronic pain and my stomach conditions, I agree to disagree. I mean, I found something that works for me. And if you find something that works for you, that's great. But I'm not going to bash you and not tell you that it's wrong. We will have a difference of opinions, but again, they are opinions. And I know I might lose business on announcing that I'll be using cannabis. Will I be using while I'm working? I will be on a very low dose. So no, I'm not going to be loopy while I'm training you. But just know that that's how I treat my chronic pain. So yesterday was interesting. The last time I tried cannabis was through an edible. And let me tell you, I was so paranoid. I mean, Brent and I both took enough, probably way too much. And so we felt like we were going to melt into the couch and die. Um, so yesterday I was a little nervous about taking my prescribed dosage, remembering what it felt like last time. And it went swimmingly okay. I was really laughy the whole day, and I couldn't stop giggling at some of the simplest things. And then being in front of other people and questioning myself, do I look high? Do I look like I'm stoned? And, you know, that level of paranoia. But again, it was the first day. I mean, I was on a tiny dose of a 1-to-1 ratio of CBD and marijuana, or THC. And it was just enough. I was able to function. I didn't feel embarrassed in front of my kid. And yes, for those parents that are nervous, I do have them locked in a cabinet where my child does not know where they are. She just knows that mommy's on a new medication, and that's it. So we haven't explained to her, and I don't feel the need to explain that to her right now. But if I find that I'm getting better, then yes, I will tell her that, you know, mommy's using a different kind of medication that not all people are going to agree with. So off to go to work, and then it's a half day, and we're going to go celebrate at Juicy Burger at one last hurrah for the closing of Juicy Burger, which really sucks because they have some of the best mac and cheese that my kid has ever eaten in her life. And anytime that we buy the mac and cheese, we usually save about half of it, and then we'll do a mac and cheese breakfast bowl with it the next morning. So I'm going to be really bummed out that I can't do that anymore. So all right, guys, I think from now on, I'm just doing video stuff and posting them on all my channels because, you know, writing some stuff out can be really taxing. And I feel like I can have my point across just as good in video. So hopefully I'll get to do a little bit more and, you know, document my experiences with medical marijuana along the way. So, all right, guys, see you tomorrow.